All right, guys, it's time for the Next Level Guy Show, a men's interview, interest, and improvement-focused podcast featuring interviews with the greats from all industries to help you better your life. Each week, a new episode features an interview with one of the greats, covering all aspects of their story, from life hacks to tips and protocols that have allowed them to live life on the next level. We then highlight concrete action steps that you can use to improve your life. And now, your host, Ian Dawson Mackay.
Hello and welcome to another episode of the Next Level Guy Show podcast. I'm your host, Ian Dawson Mackay. The Next Level Guy Show podcast is about helping you reach the next level in your life. I analyse top performers and people who have broken the script and living extraordinary lives. I focus on the concrete action steps that you can take to level up in your own life. Today's guest is Michael the Monster Todd. This episode isn't just about arm wrestling. It's about what it takes to rebuild yourself when life breaks you down. Michael, the Monster Todd, has faced shattered bones, brutal losses, and rule changes that were designed to stop him. Yet every time, he adapted, rebuilt, and risen stronger. Meet Michael, the Monster Todd, a world champion arm wrestler, founder of the Monster Factory, and proof that grit, faith, and consistency can turn your pain into true power. Beyond the table, he's built a space where athletes and everyday people come together to push limits, find their purpose, and reject mediocrity. His philosophy is simple: hard work, consistency, and faith in himself over excuses. As he says himself, mediocrity disgusts me. Being normal never made sense. And that really hit me when he said that. Because why are we living these boring, mediocre lives? Let's break the script and let's start living extraordinary lives. If you've ever felt beaten down or ready to quit, this one will relight your fire. And now, let's get to the interview. So, if you ever heard somebody describing you at a bar, what would you want them to say? Like, what would you want them to hear them describe you as?
Oh, man, I don't know. Describing me, I don't know about a bar, but wherever. I mean, I'm a very honest person. I'm very transparent. I try to treat people the way I want to be treated. Consistency. I'm extremely consistent. You know what I mean? I don't think I'm necessarily genetically gifted to excel in this sport. I just had a disgust for losing that outweighs my opponent's desire to win. So I'm a hard worker and I'm consistent, you know. So I don't know. I've never had anybody ask me that question.
Well, you get these sort of morons who assume that, sort of arm wrestling, it's just the stronger person wins, but it's all about technique, tactics, skills, movements, counters, etc. For those who don't really understand, this sport, what is it about the sport? How is it set up? And what is it about it that inspires you so much?
So I was a martial artist as a kid, and I got my black belt when I was 14 in Taekwondo. And I really thought that I was going to go into like action movies. I thought I was going to be this action martial arts star. But I always loved arm wrestling. And my senior year in high school, I could beat everybody in school. And I was in Botech, and they said, that guy over there is second in the state. So I went and got to the cafeteria table, and I beat him. And he said, hey, there's a tournament this weekend. You should go to it. Well, that tournament was just over 35 years ago. Like 2 weeks ago was the anniversary of that event for me. So I'm in my 36th year competing, and it's that one-on-one. I've never been good at team sports. I want to win or lose on my own merit because I know how hard I'm willing to work and how hard I'm willing to sacrifice. And I can always guarantee that my teammates are willing to do the same. So I never really liked team sports. I like individual sports. Well, this is a sport that I oftentimes get to determine the outcome. If I'm willing to work harder, train harder, then I usually come out on top. The thing about arm wrestling is, like you said, a lot of people think that it's the stronger man's going to win, but it's about technique. Well, at my level, it's no longer about technique. We all know the same technique. It literally is the stronger guy wins.
Yeah.
We all know the same technique. It's whoever is strong enough to execute the technique, usually. So at the core, it's still a strength sport. It's just you have to have an understanding of the techniques used within the sport. But everyone at a professional level, they know those techniques, and it just really comes down to how hard you're willing to work. And when they say go, can you outthink or out-heart your opponent,
So is that where the moniker, the monster comes in? Do you use that as persona, like a kind of alter ego, that where when you get to the gym, you kind of enter into that persona and it lets you train harder, gets up more resilience?
Well, it would be nice if it did. Honestly, here's the deal. I used to be a 200-pound arm wrestler, 198-pound, 90-kilogram arm wrestler. And then I went up to maybe 100 kilograms, whatever. Well, in 2006, I was competing in an event in Las Vegas, and Neil Pickup hadn't seen me in a while. And I was about 115 kilograms and all washboard abs and shit. And he saw me and he goes, "Oh my God, Michael Todd's a monster." And the next day he introduced me as Monster Michael Todd. So that's how it started in 2006, 19 years ago. Neil hadn't seen me in a while. He saw me. I had put on quite a bit of muscle, and he's like, "Monster Michael Todd." Now, what I do believe happens is oftentimes I doubt myself, even though I know how hard I work. Like, I will second guess myself before I get up there to the match, before they say go. But when that first slip happens or that first stop happens, like I know I'm in the match and I deserve to be there, there is a switch, and that's when Monster Michael Todd takes over. I'm normal Michael Todd till I get up there until I realize that I'm in this thing, that I got a shot at winning. And it's just this confident version of me, this guy who just will give it everything he's got. That Monster Michael Todd version kind of takes over right after once I realize I'm in the match, that, I deserve to be on that stage. There's a little bit of a switch.
I love that you notice that. Is there a certain moment that it comes in? Is it before, like, as you're getting introduced? Is it the connection with the arms?
It's when, after we shake hands and grip up, when they say go and the match slips somewhere near the center of the table, at that moment, I know I'm in it, right? Because the guy didn't just run over me. Then we get in the strap. And then the moment that they say go and that match stops and I didn't get flashed, pretty much right then is when it happens.
And do you think you've just become a kind of master on the, like, where you put your foot position, how you get hold, like, ready to pull the guy into you, controlling the inside space? Is there things that you do that gives you that step up over your opponents, or is it just pure unadulterated rage that you can control?
So, like I said, if I was arm wrestling a bunch of non-arm wrestlers, foot placement, hand position, all those things would play a big role. But at this level, we all know, like, some people know how to cheat the strap setup, to cheat the referee setup, to do a lot of things. I've never practiced that. I always just wanted to be the stronger guy. And realizing now that it's becoming more and more a facet of the game is, getting the best, manipulating the setup the best you can. I'm not that good at that. That's something I still need to work on. But at this level, we all know where to put your feet, where to stand. What happens, man, is when they say go and the match stops, 99% of the time, and I just said this previously, my disgust for losing will outweigh their desire to win. Their desire to win will give up before my disgust for losing will cave. Like, they'll want to win, but I'm gonna put them in deep water, and I'm gonna bleed them out. And oftentimes, you see that level of just confusion and just like, what am I in for? Because they'll get me so close to beating me, and they think they're there, and then they still have that another half an inch or an inch to go, and they can't figure it out. And then you just see this state of bewilderment take over, and that's oftentimes when I shine.
I love that. Because I love how you talk about it's mindset over muscle, where you say it's more than strength, it's that kind of will. How do you work on that? Because you push yourself so hard in the gym, but how on earth do you keep challenging yourself so this love of winning, this pursuit of avoiding losing comes in? How can we adopt that mindset?
So for me, it's always just been, I never am in competition with other people. I'm always in competition to be the best version of me possible. So every day I wake up, I just try to be better. I try to get one step closer to being a stronger version of me, a healthier version of me, a better husband, a better, brother, son, father, whatever, grandfather. I got 5 grandkids. It's just, and I tell people, I say this all the time. People wonder what it takes to be a world champion or, at anything. It's no different than what it takes to be a successful businessman, to be a multimillionaire or billionaire. It's just whatever your priorities are. Mine are God, family, getting in shape, God, family, training, right? If it's not in your top 3 of priorities, you're probably not going to be super good at it. But if you prioritize whatever that goal is, whether it's financial security, whether it's success in a sport, or whatever that goal, as long as it's in that top 3 or top 4 or 5 of your priorities, and you're going to consistently put work into reaching that and accomplishing that goal, that's what it's just consistency. It's like people have, the whole thing about the iceberg. You see the iceberg, but underneath it, you see a much larger portion, or you see the duck floating on the water, but underneath his feet are just kicking. You don't see all the hard work that it takes to be the champion. You see the gold medal, you see the crown, or you see the belt or whatever, but it's all the work and discipline and days that you woke up and trained when you didn't want to train, and sacrifice not getting to enjoy this meal with your family or whatever because you're on a strict nutrition plan or whatever it is that you have to be to perform as a professional athlete. It's those sacrifices, but it's that daily consistent grind that is what makes you successful in life and in sports and in everything. I mean, I think you literally can just pull it out and replace it with whatever you want, and it's still the same thing. It's that consistent daily grind. Is how I think people become, because why be ordinary if you have a chance to be extraordinary? And I feel like God blessed me with an opportunity to be extraordinary. I feel like I'm being disrespectful to my Lord and Savior if I don't fulfill my potential. And I think my potential, I've never thought I was better than anybody, but I felt like my best was as good as anyone else's. So when I would see other people achieve something, I celebrated their success. I wasn't envious of it. I thought, well, hell, if they can do it, I can do it. I just got to want it bad enough. I got to work hard enough. And I've always just been that way.
I mean, that
no matter
says
how many times I get knocked down, I just get back up,
I mean, that says more about your character, that strength of personality of your desire, so that you only focus on yourself, that you can actually be happy for others. I mean, do you see that with other people who are the also runs, the ones who are always jealous, comparing? How do you get them to focus on that goal against who they see in the mirror?
Well, so a lot of it for me, when I talk to people who have that, because we live in a world now where you don't see as much people celebrating other people's success, right?
Yeah.
We look around on social media and we see this, we say that. When we see somebody have something bad happen to them, they celebrate it or they laugh about it. And what I tell people oftentimes is, why are you wasting your energy on someone else? If they're successful and they've got something that you want, just go work hard and go set up. And it's not even just work hard. Working hard without a plan could be wasted effort. But if you have a plan and you don't set a goal here. You have to set a goal here, and then you have to set a goal here, and then you have to set a goal here. And before you know it, all these goals add up into this goal, right? But you can't just set this goal with no path how to get there. You have to set the short-term, intermediate goals. And I just can't waste time being concerned about other people and what they may have that I don't. When that time could be better used me working towards accomplishing that for myself. You know what I mean? So it's just a difference in thought. I don't waste my time thinking about the what ifs or what might happen. My wife and daughter will worry about, say, and this is completely off topic, something else, say something happens. Well, what if this happened? What if that happened? Well, they've spent 2 or 3 days, what if, worst case scenario and stuff. And I'm like, hey, it's in God's hands, what it's supposed to be will be. I'm just going to keep doing what I'm supposed to be doing. And then if that does happen, we'll deal with it when it happens, but I'm not going to worry about it if it hasn't happened yet. You know what I mean? So it's just a waste of my energy when that energy could be more productive somewhere else.
And do you put that down to a specific moment? Was there this kind of the first time that happened that you thought, I'm different, I can focus my energy elsewhere? Is there a defining moment that you could put that down to?
I honestly don't think so. I was a short, chubby kid growing up. So like my ninth grade year, I was like 5'4" and 150 pounds. Now I was a martial artist already, and I was already a black belt. And I was very proficient. I was in an adult class, and I was really good at martial arts. I could do the splits up against the wall. But at that teenage year, I wanted to be the popular kid. But instead, I was a kind of chubby kid. Right now, if things got nasty, I could pretty much whoop everybody in school because I was the proficient martial arts guy. But I wasn't the most popular kid. I wasn't the kid that had the best physique or whatever. So fortunately, the next year I grew from 5'4" to 5'9", and I came back to school. It was a very small school, and they're like, "Who's the new kid?" And I've been going to school since I was in kindergarten. I had changed so much growing out of that short, chubby kid into a taller, athletic kid, and then I was 6'1", then I was 6'3". So by the time I was a senior in high school, I was the strongest kid in school. I was one of the most fit guys in school. I was still very proficient in my craft, martial arts and stuff. So throughout that time, I just saw that, hey, I'm given this opportunity. If I just stay consistent with my work. And then what's crazy is as I've gotten older, like if I would have had the discipline that I have now, or I've had for the last 20 years, when I was a teenager, I feel wholeheartedly there's no professional sport I couldn't have played. And I'm only 6'3", but I think I could have played professional basketball if I would have had the same discipline and knowledge about nutrition. I didn't learn about nutrition until I was probably in my mid-20s. And then I understood macros and protein and carbs and fats and how everything affects your body. If I'd have had that knowledge when I was a kid, I think I could have went and been a professional in any sport I wanted just because I had the discipline and work ethic to do so, not because I was genetically gifted. I just always had that, if I put my mind to something, very seldom do I come up short.
And do you think discipline
but it's because
is
I'm willing
something...
to sacrifice,
Right. I mean,
Sorry?
can that be taught, do you think? Or are you born with it?
I believe so. Oh, and I mean, I believe it can be taught. I just think it's just like something becomes a habit. After 3 weeks of doing something, oftentimes they say that makes it a habit. It's just creating discipline in your lifestyle, creating structure, and it just comes down to priorities. When people, because I've ran a personal training business for the last 25 years as well, and people come to me, I'm like, "Hey, it's God family getting in shape. If it's not that high of a priority, don't do my program." And they don't understand. I'm like, listen. Every single day, we can give ourselves an excuse to fail with our nutrition. We celebrate food for every occasion in this society. You hadn't seen somebody in a while. Hey, let's go grab something to eat. Let's go grab something to drink. You're never like, oh, well, hadn't seen you in a while. Let's go for a hike. Let's go for a run. Let's go for a workout. Right? It's food. Food is our celebratory act, eating. Right? And the discipline it takes to not be normal in today's society when it comes to making healthy decisions with your food. You have to be abnormal to be someone who follows a healthy meal plan, because most of society eats what they want when they want. Like, hey, what do you want? I don't know. What do you want? Like, when someone asks me what I want to eat, I pretty much know because I haven't had that food in so long. I'm waiting to have it again, right? Because I'm trying to follow a strict nutrition plan. Yeah. But it's just those sacrifices and that structure and that discipline over time just makes it a habit. So I think it's very much a teachable a trait that someone can have.
It's time for a quick break. There are millions of potential products to buy, so how do you know which ones are worth your hard-earned money? Simple. You go to nextlevelguy.com/affiliates and explore those that will transform and improve your life. You'll find deals, listener exclusives, and special offers with some great companies. Recommendations are 100% honest and only on items Ian has tried or believes in. The companies showcased will make you a better man in all areas of your life. Simply go to nextlevelguy.com/affiliates and level up.
For me, the sport itself has changed so much, because trying to continue to pick yourself up and get back going, that was something I always did. Like, it's just no matter how many times I got knocked down, I got back up. If someone thought that they were going to do this sport and be undefeated forever, it was a delusion. Like, everyone's going to lose. I'm not defined by my losses. I'm defined by my willingness to dust myself off and get back up and reinvent myself. And that's what I've done throughout my career. The last 15 years of my career, my right arm was severely damaged through multiple fractures, and I had lost 19 inches of range of motion, where a lot of people would have retired because they did not have a properly functioning right arm. But I didn't. There was no such thing as quit for me, so I just had to find a way to win. It just so happens my path to victory was a move that people hated to see, but it was in the rules. And then recently, you've had a lot of the Europeans. There's been a whole lot of back and forth talks with the organizations and how they don't want the rules to change or this or that. And my wife and I were laughing the other day. I'm like, for the last 10 years, every time I showed up to a tournament, they would change a rule to try to keep me from winning. They're like, oh, the king's move can't do this. It can't do this. And then these younger athletes are talking about how they don't want the rules to change for themselves. I'm like, for the last 10 years, every time I showed up, there was a new rule against me. So what did I do? I just dealt with it. I just adapted, because what are you gonna do? Cry about it? Like you're just gonna compete, man. I love to compete. If I wasn't arm wrestling, I'd be competing at something else. Like I've got basketball goal here in my gym. We got ping pong, pool. We're over here playing cornhole, bago, whatever you want to call it. And I'm just as competitive in all those things as I am at arm wrestling. I just hate to lose.
Do you think that's something that you utilize? That's the monster side. That when people hate me, you can leave that at the table, and then you're Michael outside of that. Or does the hate bother you? Does it annoy you that people focus on this move rather than just improving it and finding something that works for them?
For a long time, it did. For a long time, it bothered me a lot because I wasn't being hated for being a character. I was being hated for being me. Like I was being hated for a person who wanted to win, and winning within the rules. I never cheated. I arm wrestled within the rules. You just might have thought it was unfair, but the rules didn't say it was unfair. You know what I mean? So when I was being hated for just being me, I didn't understand it. I'm like, guys, tell me what's so bad about the guy who just continues to work hard and wants to win. But now, sometimes I let the hate fuel me, and sometimes I just I pray for them. I'm like, hey, they just don't understand. I'm better off praying for them than anything else. So for me, it's just I have a blessed life. I live every day with my best friend. She and I get to live an extraordinary life because of this obscure sport that I started 36 years ago, and I'm just thankful and blessed, man.
Because you've said in another interview that's the bit that you love. It's you wake up each day with the person that you love. You have your kids, your grandkids. A lot of us focus on the wins, the losses, where you seem to have a focus on your legacy. What you're going to give back, or this bigger picture. Is that how you avoid letting losses affect you in such a sort of primal sport where it is about win-losing, about masculinity versus masculinity? You can focus. You've got the bigger thing about what you're giving back, but also what you've got you've got gratitude for what you have in your life.
Yeah, so I mean, arm wrestling doesn't define me. Like it isn't all there is to me. I'm a much deeper person than just arm wrestling. Arm wrestling is just a vehicle or an outlet that I use to, really basically just let my competitive side, my competitive nature, have an outlet. But at the end of the day, if my entire life was based on wins or losses, that would be a pretty shallow life, right? I wouldn't have a whole lot of. To me, it's just I'm going to win or lose. I'm most likely not going to die. Like my arm might break, something might come apart. Well, that's already happened to me. So worst case scenario, it's just something I've already been through before. If I win, my wife's going to let me celebrate for about a week. That's about it. If I lose, my wife's still going to love me. My grandbabies are still going to love Big Pawpaw. I mean, I'm still going to come home and still get to live my life with my best friend. Now, that doesn't mean I go in, saying, hey, if I lose, whatever. No, I'm wanting to win. Like I'm always wanting to win. But if I do lose, it's not the end of the world, right? Because I know there'll be other opportunities. I'm 52 years old, but I honestly think I'm just now getting to I think my right arm now is stronger than it's ever been. And I think it's just a matter of time before I'm world champion again, either in the heavyweight division or one day I get a shot at Levon and I prove the world all things are possible,
And is that the big thing for you for creating the Monster Factory? That you see that there's this generation of athletes who are too focused on the media, like the minimum, where they're not looking at the bigger picture. They're not challenging themselves by having that sort of 3 area principles in their life. Do you think?
So the Monster Factory started, and it had nothing to do with any of that. It was a place that I wanted to. As a kid, I always wanted to have my own space, right? My own gym, and I've been blessed to have my own home gym, commercial size gym, probably for the last 18 years. It's just continued to evolve, and now it's something just bigger than me, right? What it is for me, it's a space for me and my friends to get together and train, to fellowship, to you know give each other shit and motivate each other and train our butt off, right? And just get into a place where we're not judged. We're not at a local gym where, a little uncle alarm's going to go off or whatever. We can just be us and have a good time and get good workouts and get good train and get good fellowship. Now, I do have some plans for this space because we have created a space here that's, I think, pretty special. So I think we are going to open them up to weekend experiences called Monster Factory experiences, kind of like people do weekend hunting trips or whatever. We'll minimum of 8, maximum of 12 people for a 48-hour period. We feed them, we train them, we put them through nutrition, we have competitions, we fellowship, we have a good time, right? And then I also think that we're going to be doing men's fitness weekends, where we bring people in for a weekend. We teach them everything we know about nutrition and training so they can take that back and live healthier lives. Women's fitness weekends. And I do think there might end up being some Christian fellowship weekends here as well. I'm not sure. I don't know exactly how everything's going to play out, but we have a space that we can utilize to bring people together. And the thing is, I didn't do any of this to be an inspiration to anyone. I just did this because not doing it, mediocrity disgusts me. So me just being normal never made sense. My mom's like, "You've never been normal." And I didn't. I've never been. I wanted to be more. I wanted to do more. I wanted to accomplish more. I wanted to fulfill my potential, really. But throughout that process and that journey of watching myself take wins and losses, it has somehow turned into an inspirational story for others. So when I get messages from people how I've inspired them or I motivated them or something, that's just icing on the cake. But now I do have an opportunity to actually help people, supersede my level of success, do more than I did, and all it is just teaching people principles that I've lived most of my life by. And it's just hard work and consistency, right? And creating that habit. So I don't know, man, I don't know what God's got in store for me. I know we're blessed where we're at right now. I know I have several doors that look like they're about to open for some pretty cool stuff to happen. But at the end of the day, I'm still training every day, trying to get that world title back. The East versus West world title is the only world title from the professional leagues that I've never won. And honestly, it's probably because since they came into inception, I've had injuries and, nerve damages and all that stuff. And now that I have a healthy arm, I think I can go down to heavyweight if I want to and become the heavyweight world champion. And I also think although it might be slim in most people's minds, I really want to pull Levon. I want to see if a 6 months prep me fully focused on a match Levon can do what most people think is impossible, and that's beat Levon. So we'll see.
Do you think that's something that sets you aside? Because when you look at your social media, you've made some amazing transformations. You've gone from being the chubby kid, as you called it. I mean, I'm still the chubby kid now, to this ripped mass of controlled anger and pure talent on the mat. But you've come back from the gnarly things. You've treated the sport not like a sport, almost like a craft. You've built these amazing training rituals to work on your skill in that. Is that something that you think's helped you? That ability of making it part of your persona rather than just doing a sport?
See, I don't even think that's what's helped me. That's the only reason I'm able to achieve the level of success that I have is because, like I said, I wasn't genetically gifted. I wasn't someone who, if I did not treat myself like a professional athlete, I would not have this level of success. So all those things kind of went hand in hand. Just me taking a very professional approach to being the best version of me that I could be is what's allowed me to have the success that I've had. I got a lot of friends who can go out and party and drink and eat like crap and whatever and still show up to tournament and still be one of the top guys. I've never been that dude. I have to be, my nutrition's got to be on point. My sleep's got to be on point. All these things have to be in order for me. And as an aging athlete, as a 52-year-old athlete, I mean, I daily ice bath, hot tub, sauna. I have a hyperbaric chamber upstairs. I do everything I can for recovery so that I still can give myself the best opportunity for success. Um, but yeah, I mean, if it's just, there's really there is no Michael Todd, there is no Monster Michael Todd. I'm just all one guy. Like, it's just in certain instances that more competitive, more confident, more, and I don't even want to say aggressive side comes out that it's, I don't know, man, it's just different. So I really don't, I can't, my wife might be able to explain it better than I can, but I'm the same guy day in, day out. If something pissed me off today, 2 weeks from now, if that same thing happened again, it's most likely going to piss me off, right? Like, I have evolved and I have grown. But as far as consistency, you will never find a more consistent person than I believe I am. I'm very consistent. I'm also very black and white. Um, and I don't know why that is, and I'm also very literal. When someone's like, "Oh, I know a guy. His arms are twice as big as yours," I'm like, "Oh, he's got 44-inch arms. Those are huge. I've never seen 44-inch arms." You know what I'm saying? Because they're not being literal when they say the guy's arms are twice as big as mine. They're just saying that his arms are big.
Yeah.
But I heard the guy has 44-inch arms because my arms are 22 inches. So if they're twice as big, they must be 44 inches, right? Because I'm so literal. But I don't know. It's just my character, I guess, my personality.
No, I think that's good. In a way, you remove the emotion from it. They're trying to be that sort of petty, pick a fight, etc. And where you're just kind of like, you just let it slide and just, yep, okay, cool. I'm just doing my own thing. I'm doing my own thing. My approach. Do you think that's like something that you could teach the people that are listening? Like, how could we ensure our sleep's dialed in? How can we make sure we're eating's on point? What have you found about consistency that are like little gems that might work for athletes who are maybe struggling in that area?
So when it comes to nutrition, the best thing to do, in my opinion, is get a meal plan that you can follow, because the best meal plan is the one that you're going to stick to, right? So what might work for me may not be the one that works for you. So find the one that you can stick to, but then have a date, have a deadline to achieve whatever level of fitness that you want to achieve. Because if you don't have a hard date, you will give yourself an excuse to cheat or to fail daily, right? And the biggest thing for me is every single day I try to, even if it's all I did, I successfully ate right, I successfully did my cardio, I successfully did my nutrition, or I did my workout. I go to bed that night and I check it off, and I go to bed feeling like a success, and I'm excited about a new day. So you don't have to do it weeks at a time, months at a time. Do it one day at a time. I successfully completed a day. Okay, cool. I believe it's going to take me 90 days to achieve what I want to achieve. I'm one day closer to reaching my goal. I get through tomorrow. All right, I'm one day reaching closer to my goal. And just set yourself up for those daily successes, because the successes is what keeps you motivated and keeps you going. If a person constantly fails, they're going to give up. So make it to where you succeed. Set yourself up for success, right? But by having a hard deadline, like I tell people, do a photo shoot or do a fitness competition or do something or do some physical test on this day, so that I know that I have to be there by this day. So I'm going to do the work. I'm not going to slip. I'm not going to sack. I'm not going to, oh well, this bad meal is not going to hurt me, or this alcohol weekend I'm going to drink all week. And that's, if you have a deadline or a hard deadline, you don't let yourself do that. So all you're doing is teaching yourself discipline and self-control, right? And when you teach yourself that, it's no different than anything else you do in life. Like, once you get used to doing it, it's something that you can draw upon. It's a habit that you have. It's a character that you've created. Like, I am willing to do this because I've done it before. It's not going to kill me. I can do it. So I'm going to put my head down, blinders on, and I'm going to focus on the goal, So it's just, I mean, I tell people all the time, it's just prioritizing that goal, that thing that you want to accomplish, and just being consistent with the effort and the work. But celebrate the successes. Celebrate the fact that you made it through the day without slipping, and then wake up tomorrow super excited and see if we can do it again. And just before you know it, you've ran 60, 70, 80, 90 days together. And now, oh my God, look at my body. I've completely transformed my body because I put the right fuel in it. And the other thing is, I tell people, if you bought a $100,000 sports car, would you put regular unleaded gas in it, or would you put premium fuel? Well, no, you're going to put premium fuel. Well, why would you treat that car better than you do your body? Put premium fuel in your body, So
Well,
I don't know.
No, I love the way you look at it because you come alive when you're talking about the nuances, the focuses. I mean, there's so many people here who they don't care about the small things. It's like you're saying, the partying, the going out. How do you measure this? Because you said when you go to bed, you look back and you tick it off. Are you journaling? Are you using visualization? Are you using any kind of like mental techniques? Are you measuring anything particular, or is it just I know I gave my best for today?
Used to, I wrote down everything I ate. I had spiral notebooks next to my bed for years of sticking to my nutrition, right? And then after for so long, I just knew what good nutrition was. I knew what good meals were. I knew what my macros were. I knew that what my workout was supposed to be. I knew the goal I had to set. And so now it's just, I know ahead of time what tomorrow is going to be. And then when I get up tomorrow, I start off the day, and I get going and I do the things that I know I need to do. And in my free time, I might sit and watch some TV with Rebecca or lay in the bed with my dogs or go lay out by the pool or whatever. But I'm going to get the work done. The work's going to get done. So I don't think it's anything visual. It's a habit I've created.
No, I mean, it's a lot of people. They don't look at they're not grateful for what they have in their life. They don't look back. They are always looking forward at the next goal. They always have to be driving forward this hustle 24/7 stupidity mentality that a lot of people have at the moment. I mean, you've had to sort of step back with some injuries. You've had some fractures. You've had some gnarly injuries, as we talked about earlier. But you've taken, you've alluded to how you've worked on your kind of recovery, your rehab, your focus on yourself. Is that a big part now that you've taken sort of recovery as part of a professional athlete? You've focused on hyperbaric chambers. You've looked at stem cells. You've actually looking at you can give back, so you need to do it for the long term.
Yeah. So a lot of recovery, everything else that I'm doing, it comes down to this: like, we're not promised tomorrow, right? None of us are promised tomorrow. So although I'm willing to do the work, your initial question is talking about the 24/7, 360, just always pushing, always pushing, always pushing. You have to be grateful for what's in front of you, and you have to enjoy today. So do the work, set the goal, but give yourself time to enjoy the now. It doesn't have to be about what the future holds and what these goals are. If you're just head down and only focus on that, you're missing the now. You're missing the beauty of what today is. You're missing. I tell people all the time, Rebecca and I we have a very unique relationship, which I find amazing. And a lot of people think it's weird because, we've never been apart more than 9 hours. We very rarely are apart. She left yesterday for a few hours to go help our daughter with a project that she had, and I stayed here with the dogs and did a few things around here. And we probably been apart 4 or 5 hours, but it felt so different not being together because, she's my best friend. I don't want to hear a joke without hearing her laugh. I don't want to see a sunset without seeing her reaction. But that means I appreciate the now. I appreciate what I have. Does that mean I'm complacent? No, it means I understand that life is short. So you have to enjoy what you have in front of you right now. But that doesn't mean you don't have to aspire to be better, to do more, to get more, to help more people. Like, we play the lottery 7 days a week. 7 days a week I play the lottery. And every morning when I wake up and I haven't won, I'm slightly surprised because I fully expect to win the lottery one day. Like, I genuinely think I'm going to win. But it won't change me. Like, I will help out my loved ones. We'll build some sort of a compound we'll all live at. And then the extra money won't be for me to live some extravagant life. It'll be what life's going to change? Who can I help? What can I do? Because I don't change. The only difference in me is I don't have any more wrapped vehicles. Because the reason I have wrapped vehicles is to help build my brand and promote my brand, and to help get brand deals and sponsorship deals and stuff like that. It's so funny because people who don't know me think I care about fame. I could not care less if you knew who I am. I care about financial security for my family and taking care of my family. I just in a position where I have to have a certain degree of fame to take care of my family, right? the fame creates the financial security. If someone's like, okay, Michael Todd, we hate you, we never want to see you again, you can't arm wrestle, we don't want you on social media. Well, there's a number that you guys can come together and pay me monthly, and you'll never see me again. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, I'm fine. Like, the only thing about that is selfish. If I'm not on social media anymore, if I'm not out there, promoting health and wellness or whatever in my lifestyle, then there's people out there I'm not touching. It's almost selfish to me to say, okay, give me this amount of money and I'll leave, because I've already accomplished enough. This isn't for me anymore. A lot of this that I do isn't to pat Michael Todd in the back and show people how great I am. I mean, I really believe that God's been able to work through me since losing my mother in a way to inspire people, to show them that no matter what happens in life, you can get back up and you can keep moving forward. You can keep succeeding. But yeah, so in my perfect world, I won the lottery and I shut off all my social media and I unwrapped actually I gave away all my vehicles and got a few new ones and no wraps on them. And I travel around the United States with my wife and my dogs, and people are like, you look like that guy who used to be an arm wrestler. I'm like, yeah. I mean, it's not about fame for me. Like, I am grateful that I'm on the Arkansas Walk of Fame downtown. I mean, that was a legacy thing for me to get that plaque last year. I mean, you got Sam Walton, you got President Clinton, you got General Douglas MacArthur, all of them, they're all on the Walk of Fame, and now Monster Michael Todd is on the Walk of Fame because of arm wrestling. So when I die, that plaque's still going to be there. But that was more of to show the world what's possible because of arm wrestling. These other people were great men and did great things. And this little obscure sport that I started 36 years ago at a county fair was enough to get me recognized in the Arkansas Walk of Fame. So to me, that's cool. But if it comes down to how many followers and subscribers and views I have, that is only, for me, is a way to provide for my family. It's not because it's something that makes me feel, oh, look how famous I am. It's arm wrestling. It's not that big a deal. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's, I don't know. It's just, I'm thankful. I appreciate everyone, because if it wasn't for the followers and subscribers and all that and the views, I wouldn't have what I have, because I wouldn't have the brand partnership deals. I wouldn't have the support from the community and different businesses who want to advertise with me, which has allowed me to have this. But yeah, I mean, to me, it's just, this is my job. Training is my job. Being the best version of me is my job. So that's what I'm going to do.
I mean, I would argue that the reason you're on that star is almost because of the man that you've become, as much as the sport, that you've shown people what's capable if we devote ourselves to like the higher principles. If we chase things in life rather than the Kardashians or the jealous of our friend because they've got a better car than us. You are driven by providing for your family, for being happy, for being the best version of yourself. For very single people like myself, have you any tips of finding our own version of Rebecca, that person that drives us, that inspires us, that you have this sort of, because you say on your website, that this is your true love of life. How can we find our own versions, people who are looking for that companion in life?
So what's crazy about me and Rebecca is the first ever arm wrestling event that I went to. The first event I ever went to was the 1990 Saline County Fair. I was 17 years old. Rebecca was also, I believe she was probably 19. No, she was still 17 as well. And we didn't meet till we were 38. But the day that I was at that event, arm wrestling, she was at that same event, and this is a small town, and she was doing a cheerleading competition. But we didn't meet for 21 more years. So I don't know why it took so long. I would have loved to have met her when we were a teenager, because that's more of my life I could have spent with her. But it took us those 21 more years to find each other. So for me, I wasn't looking, I just found someone who, it was just that instant. And I'll tell you something that's crazy, because at 38 years old, I didn't realize that love could be what it is that we have. I thought you had childhood, teenage love that was just, you got that crazy feeling all over, and you're all madly in love. And then as an adult, you had a different type of love, because you have responsibilities and you have this and you have that. And it's just, the love is a little bit different. It wasn't like that giddy high school love. Yeah. But 38 years old, I found that giddy high school love again, right? She was so meant to be for us that we it was just such an attraction. We couldn't not be together, you know? So how do you find that? Man, just go out and be the best you. I mean, go out and focus on you. Don't go focus on trying to find that person. Focus on being the best version of you that you can be, and you will attract that person. You know what I mean? It's just be the best you can be. Treat people the way you want to be treated. You know, don't be an asshole. You know, I mean, don't be. I mean, often when I say focus on you, don't be self-centered. Be a good person. Open doors for people. Like it's, I don't know. I'm from the South, man, so I open doors for people. If someone needs help with their groceries, I grab their groceries for them. You know, I don't know. I've just always been that person, and I guess people see that when you're not looking. People see that behavior, and they're like, "Oh, okay, it's a good guy there." You know what I mean? But I don't know. I don't know how you find that person, but for me, it's when you can focus on you and be the best you that you can be. You're gonna attract that person. That person's gonna find you. You don't have to go find them.
I love that. I love how like you've set up a life of I just want to be with my person. I want to have my dogs. I'm grateful for everything, for what I can do, what's happened to me, but also now what's coming forward. And you know, you've gone through some horrific injuries. You tragically lost your mum. But you mentioned about ketamine therapy back then, and you know, is that when you look back now, the religious beliefs that you have, the love that you have with your family, looking at them as your kind of guiding rock, as much as that's kept you coming back, that you're now transitioning away from the sport, that you don't feel the need to get one more title. It'd be good if it was, but you're just happy with what you have in life.
So ketamine is the reason I'm still here. The depression was so real that I just didn't want to be here anymore. Ketamine was a reset for me. My religious and faith beliefs have always been there. I'm from the South. It just shocks me when I hear how many non-believers there are out there, because I've always believed. Just you just grow up in the South, and you know that's just what you believe, right? So I've never questioned that. But I did realize after ketamine treatment there had to be something more. There had to be a reason. You know, I have this platform, I have this following. What is it that God's trying to do through me? And I felt like it was just show the world that you know, whether how you want to interpret Philippians 4:13, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. I literally believe that means exactly what it says. I can do all things, and but God, you know, faith without acts is dead. Like I have to do the work.
Yeah.
He's just going to work through me and give me that ability to work hard, or to, I mean, because I feel like that's the gift God gave me, was an ability to just endure, right? Just to, I don't want to say suffer, but to have an ability to grind. Like, it's funny times I have friends that are like, man, nobody works as hard as you. I'm like, dude, I'm the laziest professional athlete in the world. I am a lounger. I'm on my back watching TV with my dogs most of the time. But when I'm working, I work hard. You know what I mean? So I don't know, but I've always had faith. I've always believed. But my mother it was so funny. If I came home and said I lost, she was so surprised because I won so much. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
she's like, well, what happened? Like, if I came home and told her I won another world title, it was not a surprise to her. She expected it. But when I came home, I was like, yeah, I didn't win. She goes, well, what happened? You know, like, it must have been something, because that's not common for you, you know? And she was just someone who believed in me. And she knew early on that I was different. You know what I'm saying? She's like, yeah, you're never going to be normal, son. You're going to just keep going out there and, you know, making your way and doing your thing. And I feel like I've done that. And just like you said, I'm thankful for what I have. Listen, Rebecca and I and our dogs, I don't want to lose this life that we have. I love our home, and I love our place, and I love everything. But you could put us in a single wide trailer with my dogs and my wife, and I'm just as happy.
That is beautiful. I'm so chuffed at how you found your way back. When you were down at that dark moment, because I mean, I've suffered a lot with intrusive thoughts, depression, etc. Is how have you found your way back to the light? You know, have you found, you know, like, what was it about ketamine that opened kind of that door for you in
Well,
a
it
way?
just I can't explain it. The first treatment I hated because I don't do drugs and I don't like being out of control. I very rarely drink, and if I do drink, I don't get drunk. You know, I just don't like being out of control. And that first treatment, you're not in control. It felt so weird, like a hallucinogenic, whatever. But the second one, I went into that treatment with a more open mind, and I literally in that treatment 4 or 5 times told Rebecca who I was going to be in 2024. And a couple of the names changed at the end, but I did exactly what I said I was going to do. And I knew it in that second session. Like I saw it. I could see myself doing it to the point where I was repeating it over and over in that session. Um, and then it just kind of was this reset. Like I didn't, like they did a depression scale when I went in and I was definitely suicidal. And I think that max was like 36 and I was 33. It was real high. And by the last ketamine treatment, I think I was a 6. I think
Jeez.
my depression scale went down to a 6 because I was back to. I'm an optimistic dude. Like I was sitting there telling you, I expect to win the lottery. Like I truly think I'm going to win the lottery. This is, I mean, you put me on a lie detector test. Hey, you going to win the lottery? Yes. Like I'm going to pass because I believe I will. So I'm a glass half full guy, and I'm just back to being me again. It just reset me, and I know my mom isn't hurting anymore. I know she's in a. I miss her dearly. Like I'll get emotional. I've been emotional the last couple of weeks, just starting to cry. I think about my mom, and it makes me sad. And I just miss her because I want to talk to her. But I know she's not hurting. I know she's in a better place, and I know that I was left here for a reason. And I'm just going to try to be the best me I can be.
That is beautiful, and I think you are a sort of a shining light for a lot of people who are struggling. But you're also, you know, like you could probably tell the love that she had for you and how proud she is of what you do. And I think that's what helps you is you're surrounded by your people. You know, you have some amazing training partners, the love of your life. You focus on the relationships. It's that how you think a lot of men could improve? It's finding their band of brothers, finding the love of their life by focusing as a community and our legacy that we leave rather than what we win on the mats.
I do believe you need to surround yourself around like-minded individuals, right? You know, you hear that thing, like you're the of your 5 closest friends, that's who you're going to be most like, or whatever. I actually don't know how it goes. But finding people who are like-minded, finding people who are goal-oriented, finding people who celebrate other successes. It's a great group of people to be around, and when you can find that, you can help build each other up and accomplish great things. When it comes to finding your partner, your life partner, listen, mine and Rebecca's relationship, we're 24/7, like we're together all the time, so we fight as well, but we love each other so much that it's just we forgive each other and get over it. You know what I mean? So no relationship's going to be perfect. Ours just is. It's the best I've ever had, right? It's the best relationship I've ever had. But it's because we love each other so much and we appreciate each other so much. Straight up, I'm gonna tell you my this is my I don't have a whole lot of time left, but this is my one relationship goal. And this is loving relationship or friendship relationship. This is the one thing that I've always been. I am extremely transparent in what I need, or if you hurt my feelings. You know, if you do something that is offensive to me or hurts my feelings or something, and I don't inform you of said act and how it hurt me, when you do it again, I'm the only person to blame.
Yeah.
Because I didn't tell you, you didn't know. So if you're a friend and you do something that I find offensive, I'm going to let you know, hey man, I don't know if you meant it this way, but this is how I took that, whatever. And if you do it again, okay, then I realize you don't really care about my friendship. But if you say, okay, thank you for bringing that to my attention, I won't do that anymore. That saved me so much trouble and so much anguish and there's never a wonder what he's thinking, wonder what he's doing. I just get straight to it. Like I don't feel like I'm a confrontational person. My wife thinks I am. I don't think I'm confrontational. I just don't like to waste energy. I would if you text me and I text you and you text me and the text I interpret that the wrong way, I'm going to call you and say, hey, did you mean it this way? Do we have a problem, or did I misunderstand that? You know, I'm
Yeah.
not going to sit here and waste time wondering what you thought. I'm going to ask you, was this intentional? Do you feel this way about me? Am I taking this correctly, or did I misread what I said? Right? I'm very to the point. And in a relationship, you have to say, this is what I'm missing. Like I need more of this, or I need more of that. And if you don't do those, if you do those things in a relationship, and you are completely transparent with your partner, you can have a much better relationship. Now, maybe it doesn't work out, and maybe the person doesn't like that much transparency, or you find out things you don't want to find out. Well, then that means that's not the right person for you. But when you can find out a person who you can be open with and transparent with and share your feelings with without the risk of judgment, because you know that they love you and you can tell them how you feel and you can get advice from them, or you can tell them, hey, this is what I'm thinking. What do you think about this? But I've always just been very open with my communications. I'm extremely open. And because of that, I feel like I have healthy relationships.
Is that where
But I
you
didn't go to therapy to learn. I didn't go to therapy to learn any of this. I realized that there was a lot of energy wasted on wondering if, hey, I'm just going to tell you, this is what I need. This is, did you mean, I'm just that guy. Like I've always been that guy.
I mean, I honestly mean this. Like, I truly find you a remarkable man. There's so much more than just the competing, the wrestling. I mean, we're moved completely away where I was going to go with this, but there's so much more to you deep down that I think we need to show more of to inspire people. Is this where because you've said when you've been through everything I've been through, it's not just strength, it's patience, breath, and believing you can always surge again. That's the difference. That's Monster. I know we're coming to our time, but is that what you want people to remember from this? Like going forward as a sort of summary of this message that you want to put out?
Man, I mean, I don't know how I want to be remembered, how I want this, how I want people to see me. I'm a flawed individual who is trying to be better, right? I'm just a guy who's trying to be better than I was previously, and I was yesterday. My goals and my aspirations are to be the very best version, and it's just I want to fulfill my potential. And is that potential in sports? Is that potential in business? Is that potential as I just want to be the very best version of myself that I can be in as many aspects as possible, right? Mm-hmm. And because of that, there's always room to grow. There's always lessons to learn, right? The moment you quit learning is kind of when you quit living. You got to just be open to new experiences and learn from them, and grow. So I don't know if that answers your question, but Monster Michael Todd is just a guy who has a disgust for losing and wants to enjoy every second of every day that he has left on Earth, and maybe that inspires other people to do something similar.
And for those who want to find out more and follow you on this amazing journey, who want to come along to the training sessions that you mentioned, the fellowship events, etc., how can we get in touch? How can we follow you on social media, your website, and just see this amazing life and obviously the amazing training facility you have?
MonsterMichaelTodd.com is my website. Honestly, I don't even know if I get emails from there. So I tell people just to message me on Instagram or Messenger, because I check my message request. I'm the one guy who goes through that request thing and goes through all his requests. You know what I mean? And I'm the guy who responds back. Like, I don't have anybody else. I'm the one that runs my social. I mean, Rebecca does a lot of the long format posting, but I'm the one that checks my messages, and I'm the one that reach out to brands and ask if they do athlete influencer collaborations. I'm the guy that does all that. So if you want to learn more or know more, if you just want to follow along, Monster Michael Todd across all platforms. If you want to message me about one of our Monster Factory experiences or, men's fitness weekends or fellowship, whatever, that's how you get in touch with me.
Well, that's it for another week, and thank you for listening. It's now time to take what you've learned and use it to develop and enhance your life with the key points mentioned. Listen, try it, embrace it, use it, and crush it. Now's your time to hit that next level in your life. If you liked this episode, then please leave a comment on the show notes or a review of the show on your podcast platform. Everything helps evolve the show. Until next week, keep seeking the next level in your life.